Hi, Leo. Welcome back to Lee's Intuitive Tarot. My name is Leigh, and today we're going to take a look at what's going on in your love life for the month of August. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. If you'd like to book a personal reading, there is a link in the description box below. Let's go ahead and get started. So what we're going to do is we're going to get a card from the Believe in Your Own Magic deck. And the one that you got is a morning. It says the world awaits you. It's number 40. Okay. All right. Let's see. Give me 1 second. Excuse me. Whew. Okay. Here we go. Morning. The world awaits you. You've been alive. Sure. You've been waking up, doing what you need to get through your day, going back to sleep, repeat. Have you been living though? Truly living. I think you need to hear this now more than ever. Your life is incredibly precious. Out there, the world awaits you. Now is the time to make good moments and learn to treasure them as they come. Okay? So I feel like with this card, Spirit is just telling you, basically what it says, that life is precious. If you're hermiting away over this situation, over what has happened between you and this person, Spirit is telling you to not let any grass grow under your feet. It's not that they're telling you to not allow yourself to heal, from what has happened, but life is supposed to be about balance. So you can't, they're asking you to not just slide off into the oblivion and let the depression or the disappointment take over. Okay. This is about you realizing that, yes, you had a disappointment with this person. You may have had a setback with them, but you still have a life to live. Okay. All right. Okay. So the overall energy we have for this reading for this month is the 7 of Wands. So this is talking about, you may be defensive about this situation because I feel like, you were mistreated in this connection. For a lot of you, this is you wanting this person to come and fight for this connection with the 7 of Wands. Okay. Underneath this, we have the King of Pentacles, earth sign, or someone with a lot of earth in their chart, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. This is talking about what you want, the type of relationship you want. You want someone who's willing to fight for it, just like you are. You want someone who's going to be stable, grounded, and committed to you. Okay. You're wanting to have a second chance with this connection. And with the Lovers card, Gemini energy, the Judgment card was Scorpio energy. With the Lovers, this is talking about, you making a choice. You're wanting this person to choose you and to choose this connection. Okay. They could be a Cancer or have Cancer placements, because we do have the King of Cups here. And Spirit is saying, in order for you to get this, okay, this is about balancing yourself out with the King of Cups. Okay. There may be an ending of a cycle with this person. Okay. Because if you're not balanced and you come together, you're playing out a karmic cycle. So I feel like that's probably what is happening in this situation. So let's clarify. 7 of Wands. 7 of Wands. Okay. So when it comes to you, you are very confused about what's going on in this connection. Okay. Like I said, I feel like you kind of made this person privy to how you feel. You may have told them your feelings, and they may have turned around and ran in a different, in the opposite direction. I don't think this is something that's ever happened to you before. And, you're trying to figure out how to deal with it. Okay. Yeah. Your person has massive self-worth issues. Okay. They don't feel like they're lovable. They could also feel like you and them are not on the same level, when it comes to this connection. Okay. It could be an economic difference. It could be just a difference in how you operate versus how they operate. Okay. It could be a lot of different things because it's a collective reading. Okay. All right. Let's pull one more card. Yeah. So yeah, this person's very emotionally immature. Okay. Because we've got the King of Cups. We had the King of Cups show up in this deck here, right? For the overall energy, but it showed up upright. In this one, it's coming up reversed, meaning that this person is very emotionally immature. They could be very moody, they could be very manipulative. Okay, withdrawn. This person could have ghosted you. Okay, left you out in the cold. Okay, so when it comes to you, the card we have for you this month, the energy that you sit in is Pisces energy, the High Priestess. Okay, so this can speak of, like, secrets. It can speak of, I feel like it's just you. You may have secrets. There may be things that you didn't, fully tell this person or fully get a chance to tell them because they ran off in the other direction. I feel like you thought that this was going to turn into a full-blown relationship, and it didn't. It did the opposite. Okay. So with the high priestess, I feel like you're sitting in the energy of focusing on yourself and trying to listen to your intuition, trying to listen to spirit guide you through this connection. Okay. Let's clarify. Yeah. So we've got karma. It was a karmic situation. Like I told you, you're playing out a karmic cycle with this person because neither one of you are balanced enough to be able to sustain this connection. Okay. So it's talking about paying off karmic debts owed from past lives and the present life. When it comes to your person, we've got the Four of Cups. Okay. It says Sour Patch. So your person is not having a good period in their life right now. Because look at the storm cloud. It's only raining on them. It's not raining on anything else around them. But spirit is trying to hand them an umbrella, right? But they're not looking at it. They're looking straight ahead. I feel like they're looking at you. They're thinking about what they lost, that the two of you had a false start with this card. Okay. Your person may be bored when it comes to their love life. They may be bored with the state of affairs, with the way things have happened, have occurred. They're also regretful of their actions. Okay. Let's clarify. Four of Cups. Yeah. See, this person, they want intimacy. They want to come close to you. This could be the sexual intimacy too. Okay. This, I feel like, is about them wanting to open themselves up to you. All right. They have a deep down repressed desire to do this, but I feel like the repressed emotions, the suppressed emotions, their level of immaturity is making this impossible. Okay. Let me clarify. I want to clarify it because I want to see what else spirit wants to say about this. The intimacy card, please, spirit. Yeah. See, this person has issues being vulnerable. Okay. And that's why they want to be vulnerable. Okay. They have the desire to do it. But, you can have all the desires and all the emotion and all whatever you want inside. I'm looking at, what you're doing. And so if you're not doing anything, this to me is immaterial. But, this is your reading, Leo. You have to figure out your path for yourself. Okay. Okay. So the next card we're going to take a look at is the energy between the both of you. Six of Wands. Okay. You both want to have success in this connection. You both want to have victory. This is also talking about a dream lover entering your life. So you both see each other as your dream lover. Okay. With the Six of Wands. And you're both wanting this to work out. Six of Wands, please. Six of Wands. Okay. Okay. On your side, this is about you learning to be independent because I think in the past you may have had a lot of codependent relationships where you may have like, not necessarily latched on to the person, but gotten close to the person to the point where it started to become unhealthy. And with this independent card now, this is about you learning to stand on your own 2 feet. Okay. With your person, they're thinking a lot about this situation, thinking a lot about, their actions, what they did. I don't know if they're ready to take accountability yet or not, but they are thinking about, what they did, what you did, all that certain type of thing. Okay. All right. So when it comes to the challenge for the both of you this month, we've got the Queen of Wands. Okay. This is a fire sign or someone with a lot of fire in their chart, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. I feel like this is spirit talking about, both of you getting yourself together, healing yourself and going through what you need to go through in order to prepare for this connection. Because like I told you, if you're not balanced, this is about bringing yourself into balance with the Queen of Wands. If you're not balanced, like I said, you're going to continue to play out a karmic cycle. Like I said, you're ending this one because the World card showed up here in the overall energy deck, okay, in that pile. But if you decide to go another round with this person and the both of you aren't ready, it's just going to repeat the same thing again. They may be there for a short period of time, but something's going to happen between the two of you and they're going to end up running again. Okay, let's clarify. Queen of Wands. Okay. Queen of Wands. Can you clarify this card, please? All right. Okay. The card we have for you is Spirit Baby. Okay, the reason why this card is coming up, I feel like Spirit is sending you downloads. They may be sending you, what do they call those? The energy codes or whatever. They may be sending that to you in order for you to go through the metamorphosis, the change that you have to go through, because Spirit is telling you with this card, change is going to come. Okay, this situation is not always going to be in the holding pattern that it's in. Okay, then your person is learning to be more spiritual. Okay, they're learning to tap into the spiritual side of themselves. Okay, next card we're going to take a look at are your actions this month. So we've got the Ace of Swords. This is about you wanting truth. You want this person to come towards you and give you truth. You may go towards them and give them some truth, okay? Because like I said, you're confused about this whole situation. I feel like this person is a bit of a mystery for you. And there's so many things about them, even though you have these deep feelings for them, it's confusing to you because you don't know a lot about them. You don't know as much about them as you're wanting to. Okay, let's clarify. Ace of Swords, please. Yeah. See, you're sitting in a lot of negativity now. I understand this because I've been in this situation too, where you're just like, why did this person come into my life and just stir shit up and then fucking leave, and then I gotta try to pick up the pieces, and I gotta try to heal my heart and move on. Okay, but Spirit is saying this is about you learning to be detached in this connection because it's being divinely guided. Okay, Spirit is orchestrating this connection, and this is something that neither one of you have control over. So the only thing you can do is pull back your energy and focus on yourself, because as I've told other signs this week for the monthly reading, is that this person is someone who has to feel your absence in order to start to turn around and do the right thing. Okay, because it's like I said before, they're running, and they're like, wait a minute, I don't feel Leo's energy anymore. Leo is withdrawing from me. I don't feel because let me say it like this: the energy that you give them when you think about them, and you obsess over them, and you do all these things to keep them in your energy, it gives them a sense of comfort, just like them thinking about you, even if you don't see each other, even if you don't talk to each other, it gives you both a sense of comfort when one is thinking about the other and the other is thinking about the other. Okay, for you to start to draw back your energy and focus on yourself and stop giving to this person, that is what's going to make them say, okay, I've got to change something. Otherwise, Leo's not going to be here. Okay. So that's what Spirit is trying to explain to you with these cards that they're giving you. Okay. All right. So the next card represents your person's actions, and it's the Nine of Swords. So they're in their head about this connection. They lose a lot of sleep over it. They may have nightmares. They may cry. They've done all these things. I'm sorry, I'm not laughing at your situation. I'm thinking about another reader I watched that talks about crying in the shower. And so that's what this makes me think of when I think about the Nine of Swords, when I talk about the crying. But it's crying, sleepless nights, a lot of anxiety this person is feeling over your connection. Okay. All right, let's clarify. Nine of Swords. Okay, so yeah, this person wants to communicate with you, but like I told you, people in hell want ice water. It doesn't always mean that they're planning on taking action to do it, because they're in their head over this. The Nine of Swords is not an action card. It's a card of a lot of thoughts. So we've also had the Pride card. So they may want to communicate, they may want to take action to do this, but the pride is what's stopping them. They're all caught up in their pride and ego, and it's shutting them down from doing anything to better this connection. Okay, I pull cards for you, but this is their actions. But I'm going to show you what I pulled, even though. So you want to nurture this connection, you want it to grow and to be better, and this is also about lessons that you're learning. Okay, all right, next card we're going to take a look at is the outcome. So we've got the Three of Pentacles. So this is talking about the two of you joining up together to have teamwork and collaboration. Okay, you have the possibility to have this, but like I said, you have to turn away from this person if this is what you're wanting. It sounds counterintuitive. It sounds like, well, what if I turn away and they don't come? Like I said, whatever is for you, Leo, it will not pass you by. It may take a minute for it to come back around, but it will not pass you by. And I wouldn't be surprised if this person didn't try to come towards you, because it's Mercury retrograde, and during Mercury retrograde, people love to spin the block. Okay. All right, let's clarify. Three of Pentacles. Okay. Three of Pentacles. Okay. Spirit is excuse me. Spirit is telling you what has to be fixed in order to have this. Okay. So for you, we have trauma wounds. There's something that's happened to you, some type of abuse that you've been through, and this has to be dealt with, because if you try to bring something like this into this connection or any connection, it's not going to work. Okay. So let me read what it's saying. Any type of sexual abuse which may cause depression, anxiety, and or anger as an adult. Okay. If this card is showing up, Spirit is telling you that it has not been fully addressed, and it needs to be. It could be, through a form of counseling. There could be, something that, you could get, pick up a book that talks about how to heal stuff like this. There are a lot of different, ways you can work on it. And then when it comes to your person has to heal their abandonment wounds. Okay. So it could have been a situation where when you told this person how you felt, and they walked away from you, you turned around and you abandoned the connection, and they feel abandoned by it, which to me doesn't make any sense, because they were the ones that disengaged first, unless it was a situation where you did. Because like with mine, the person was breadcrumbing, and I was like, okay, I'm not putting up with this. And so I just stopped talking to them. I stopped completely talking to them, and I blocked their asses. So it could have been a situation similar to what I'm talking about, where you may have, disengaged, but they really did. It really was the other person that disengaged first, because why are you breadcrumbing somebody when there's no reason to breadcrumb somebody? There was no argument. There was nothing like that. They just was in this same type of energy, this repressed, immature energy, and I wasn't having it. And I grew up with a Leo. A Leo raised me, so I know y'all ain't about the bullshit. Okay. All right. So this next card we're going to take a look at represents the advice from Spirit. So we got the Seven of Cups here. Spirit is telling you that you got to end the illusions. Whatever illusions you have about this connection, you have to end them. You have to look at what's really going on. This person has walked away from this connection. They've run from you. They've run from your feelings and run from their feelings. So ask yourself this question, okay? Because Leo's got a lot of pride. There's nothing wrong with that. Leos have a lot of pride. If somebody that you didn't have these strong feelings for did this to you, what this person is doing, would you sit there and take it? Or would you be like, F you, and walk in the other direction? These are the questions you have to ask yourself. But also with the Seven of Cups, Spirit is telling you there are other people coming. Okay. If you don't wish to be with this person or to repeat this cycle with this person, because that's what it's going to be. It's going to be a karmic cycle, as I've just said a couple of times before. If you come back together with them because neither one of you are ready to be in a connection, and I know this because of the things that are coming up here, okay, that need to be addressed. And until these things are addressed, it would only be the karmic cycle. So Spirit is telling you that there are other people coming along where you'll have other options. So that if you don't want to choose this person, you can choose another person, but you still have to heal your wounds, because people, are thinking, oh, well, let me just go off with the new person and then I don't have to deal with my shit or whatever. But this is a spiritual awakening, and you still have to deal with it. Okay. All right. Let's clarify. Seven of Cups. Seven of Cups, please. Okay, so we've got passive. Okay, so this is about you hiding your anger. I feel like this person really did a number on you, Leo. They really hurt your feelings, and my heart goes out to you because I know how this feels. You feel like, you can't stay, and then you can't go. You feel like caught in the middle, and then you're thinking about them all the time. Trust me, I know. I get it. Then we've got clarity. This is about, your person needing to see things clearly and to understand things, because they got to take responsibility for what they did. I feel like you take full on responsibility for your part in the connection, but I feel like they don't at all. I feel like they're, the two of you are in separation. They're not even talking to you. If they're talking to you, it could be some type of hostile communication. I don't even feel like they're ready to really look at what happened and say, hey, I was part of this too. And the reason why I know this is because of the emotional immaturity. Somebody who is emotionally immature thinks that the world revolves around them and they don't have to do anything. It's everybody else that must cater to them. And that type of stuff is not going to work in any type of relationship. Okay. All right. So now we're going to get some messages. We're going to start with some messages from spirit. Then we'll get some messages from your person. And we're going to do one other thing before I let you go. Okay, see? Again, immaturity. It says someone is emotionally and spiritually undeveloped, causing a distorted outlook on the situation. So they're not looking through proper glasses. Those glasses, there's glasses that they make for little kids. And it's like you look through them, and before you look at the room and it looks a certain way, it looks like it's supposed to look, and then you put on the glasses and all of a sudden the room looks crazy. It's that type of thing that's going on with your person, because while they're sitting in this energy, they're not going to take responsibility. They feel like it's all your fault, that they didn't do anything. All they have to do is exist, and they're supposed to get what they're supposed to get, and it's all on you. You have to fix it. You have to do this. You have to do that. And so how can you have a relationship with someone who thinks like that? Okay. All right. We're going to get some messages of love, oracle cards. Let's see what spirit wants to tell you. Ooh, there you go. So we've got second chance. It says this relationship deserves a second chance, but once the two of you have healed, okay? Boundaries, firm boundaries are needed now, okay? You got to learn how to set boundaries with this person. I know it's difficult because you have these strong feelings for this person, and you just want both of you to put the guns down and to wave the white flags. But let me just tell you this, like I've told the other signs, there's nothing you can do. You can't bargain with this person to get them to turn around and come back. The only thing you can do for them to come back is to pull back your energy, okay? Because we all know anything you chase in this life is just going to run away, right? Okay, last card says obsession. It says someone in this connection is gripped by obsessive thoughts. I know you can't stop thinking about them. You want to get them out of your head. You can feel them thinking about you. It's like a crazy situation. I trust me, I totally understand it. Okay, so we are going to get some messages from your person. Let's see what they want to tell you. Okay, so this person replays your conversations over and over with each other. If you have text messages or something like that with each other, I feel like they lay in bed and go through their phone and reread things that the two of you have talked about together. Okay, you came closer than anyone. You got closer to them than they allowed anybody else to get closer to, to get close to them. And I feel like it scared them because they love you unconditionally. Okay, and you love this person unconditionally because they did all this shit and you still love them. Okay, all right. So now we are going to take a look. We're going to go all the way from Aries to Pisces and see, based on each sign, what's going on between you and this person. Okay? All right, let's go. What can you tell me, Spirit? Aries. Okay, if you're dealing with an Aries, Leo, this person wants to put a conclusion. They want to end the cycle, and they're ready to come towards you. Taurus. Ooh, a lot of stuff that fell. Okay. The Taurus, if you're dealing with the Taurus, the Taurus has like massive self-worth issues. They got to do massive self-worth and abandonment issues, and they have shadow work to do. But I don't think they're doing it because they're basically numbing now. They're like, drinking or doing drugs or doing something to numb themselves so that they don't have to to deal with their feelings and deal with the situation. Okay. Okay. If you are dealing with a Gemini, Leo, 1 second. Okay. If you're dealing with a Gemini, they want to communicate, but I don't think they're going to communicate because they're not saying nothing. They want to stay mute, but in their mind, they're thinking that they want to communicate with you. Okay. If you're dealing with a Cancer, the Cancer understands, is starting to understand what is going on in this connection, but they are in a connection with somebody else. There's a third party. Okay. The karmic partner. Okay. Okay. If you're dealing with a Leo, another Leo, the Leo wants to communicate. Okay. They realize that you're spiritually connected, but they've got the mute card as well. I don't think they're going to say anything. I think they go back and forth between wanting to stay quiet and wanting to communicate. Virgo. Okay. If you're dealing with a Virgo, same thing. They're going through a dark night of the soul. Okay. And they're not going to be saying anything. If you hear anything from them, it may be in the fall, but I wouldn't bet on it. Okay. Okay. With the Libra. Okay. The Libra admires you and they want to communicate. So you may be hearing from them. Scorpio. Okay. With the Scorpio, you're in separation. You're both mirroring each other, but nobody's moving towards anybody. Okay. It's mute. Okay. Sagittarius. Okay. The Sagittarius wants to return to communicate. Okay. Because they admire you. So it's a situation where with the Sagittarius, you may be hearing from them. Okay. When it comes to Capricorn, the Capricorn wants to take action. They want to have union with you, and they are mirroring you. Okay. Okay. When it comes to the Aquarius, the Aquarius wants to compromise. They want to work things out with you, but they're going through a dark night of the soul right now. Yeah, they want to communicate too because this was turned over as well. Okay. Pisces. Cards just flying out. Okay. With the Pisces, they are being guided by spirit right now because they're going through a dark night of the soul. Okay. All right. Let me get one more message from your person. Okay. So we've got, will you open up your heart to me again to me? So I hope this helped. Leo, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. If you'd like to book a personal reading, there's a link in the description box below. Please have a good day and a good rest of your week, and I will talk to you soon. Bye, Leo.